I'm on a journey to see the world's most photographable places.
Everything really is so much bigger and you just, wow.
To bring you along on a virtual photo walk. To find the best photo spots. To show you how to get great vacation photos just like these on your smartphone. I'm Jefferson Graham and... New York, Times Square on a cold winter day. It's 10 degrees as we're filming this. So think of this as an episode for how to get great photos in New York City on a cold day, on a rainy day, on a snowy day by going inside New York. As always, I'm filming this episode on the same camera that you probably have, a smartphone. Smartphones have gotten so good you don't have to lug the big heavy camera gear with you anymore on vacation. You can do it all on here. You could even produce a TV show on a smartphone, as I'm doing right now. Lily, who's helping me right over there, she's using a late model phone. I've got a late model iPhone. Let's use them together and photograph New York. For this segment of the photo walk, I've got 4 stops for you, a short 1.4 mile walk that would take just over about a half hour if we didn't stop, but of course we will. Our first stop, one of the great New York buildings, the main branch of the New York Public Library, 42nd and 5th. Outside it's amazing. Will it be amazing inside as well? Let's go find out. The main branch of the library opened in 1911. It took 16 years to complete. It was the largest marble building of the 20th century at the time. The library, of course, is guarded by those 2 marble lions, Patience and Fortitude. Inside, you have amazing art everywhere. The Rosemain Reading Room is the heart of the library. It's one of those incredible spots in New York City with those massive windows, high ceilings, rows of tables. What a great spot, huh? So see the window over here? That's very iconic New York. That's classic. That is a really nice shot. Be sure to stay tuned for our photo tip segment where I will show you how I got shots like these on my phone and how you can too. So my old friend Ed, here we are, Grand Central Station, New York City. Ed and I covered the iPhone when it first came out in 2007, and we've been covering it ever since. But I don't think that we would have ever dreamed that we'd be making videos, TV shows on an iPhone and coming to a place like Grand Central Station.
Yeah, and I know you've said this, a zillion times, but what's the best camera? The one you have in your pocket, right? The one that's always with you at the ready. And now you have a really good camera at the ready.
Right, no reason to bring the big camera with you on vacation. Let's take some great shots of Grand Central.
Sounds good.
Okay. Here we are, we're in the central of Grand Central Station.
Yep.
One of the most beautiful
spot in New York City.
One of the greatest train stations in the world. You've been here many times?
Yep.
Right?
Many times.
Where should we get the iconic shot, do you think?
Well, I mean, just looking at that, wall there or on this side, it's iconic is all around you, right? You got the flag here.
Right.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful.
Should we try it from down here first? And then a lot of people like the platform.
Absolutely.
Okay, so maybe like right here?
Sure.
Watch the gap. You're getting on.
Okay, my selfie trick, just so you know.
Yeah.
I always do the timer. Do the timer, and you have a lot more time to get your picture together.
Okay.
And you don't have to work. You don't have to press it.
Oh, right. I always forget.
We climbed up to the platform that overlooks the terminal, only to discover that it was so popular there that there was actually a line to get the shot, and for good reason. What a backdrop, huh? Again, in our photo tip segment, I'm going to show you how I got some of these great photos and videos of Grand Central. After photos, we took a lunch break immediately next door to Grand Central at the swanky Pershing Square restaurant. So this is one of the other secrets of coming to New York on a cold day, on a snowy day, on a rainy day, finding somewhere really nice to have lunch.
Can't argue with that.
Right, and we're here at
it has been, even for New York, it's quite cold right now.
Right, Pershing Square, New York City, right across the street from Grand Central Station.
Yep, you know, and as somebody who is a lifelong New Yorker, sometimes you take this stuff for granted, you know?
Yeah.
It's like people will say, oh, you know, when do you go to the Empire State Building? When do you go? When you have out-of-town visitors who want to do all the touristy things. But so you can sometimes underappreciate things like that. Grand Central is just down the street from where I'm working, and it's just a great spot, you know?
Yeah, and they just don't build them like this anymore.
They don't, no.
So Ed went back to work and the photo walk continued, this time to the classic, iconic, historic St. Patrick's Cathedral right there on 5th Avenue, just up the block from the Grand Central Terminal. A visit to St. Patrick's is like stepping into one of the great historic churches of Europe. However, this one just happens to reside in one of the top contemporary shopping districts in the world, right across from Rockefeller Center. It opened in 1878, and it is considered one of the great examples of neo-Gothic architecture. You all know this view from the bottom of Rockefeller Center, but have you considered going up to the top?
They say this is the best view of New York City at the top of the rock. We've got our CityPASS, and we are going to go check it out. Let's find out if it indeed is the best view of New York.
Guests are welcome with a little informational exhibit about Rockefeller Center, and then whisked into the elevator to go 850 feet high up into the 67th, 69th, and 70th floor decks of this amazing building.
We're inside. We're at the top of the rock. There's 2 more levels. They're all outside. This is our inside view, so if we are cold, here's our opportunity. Take that phone, stick it right on top of the window. If you can see, when I come right back here, I have a reflection in the window, and then I move it right up here, and I don't. Right outside, you can see the entirety of Central Park going up to 125th Street. You can see the George Washington Bridge on 168th. You can see the East River. You could pretty much see everything here.
We climbed up to the 2nd story for a better view. Yes, it was cold, but I could see that the shot would be better, except I still had an obstacle, the glass.
You can see a lot more from up here, obviously. You can see all sides of the city. It looks prettier. Unfortunately, it's covered by the window. If you got a problem, or we have an opening right there, let's look at the difference. That's that, and there's that. Can you see the difference? Look, it's so much clearer. So we went through the reflections in the windows and the little slivers through the windows. If you're willing to get cold and go up on the 3rd floor, no windows. You've got it all to yourself. It's still going to look better at nighttime, but it's quite a view of an amazing city. The Museum of Modern Art is on our CityPASS, so it's included with all the great attractions here in New York. It's considered one of the greatest museums. Don't know if it's one of the greatest photo spots, but on a cold day, I can't wait to go inside, so let's check it out.
MoMA, as it's called, is easily the most accessible of the major museums in New York, as it's in the heart of Midtown, right near Rockefeller Center. It houses over 200,000 pieces of art with landmarks from Van Gogh, Warhol, and many other great artists. For photography, my hunch was correct. Not a lot there, but I did enjoy looking down from the 4th floor and picking up a cool overhead shot. And again, you couldn't ask for a nicer place to stay warm. Meanwhile, I naturally returned to the top of the rock later in the evening, as I knew the shots would be way more dramatic, and they were. Both of these little video clips were done in time-lapse mode on the iPhone by opening an app, putting the camera on the selfie stick, and extending the built-in tripod. I'll have more for you on time-lapse videos in our photo tip segment coming right up.
When we come back from the break, more of beautiful inside New York. Before the break, we began exploring New York City on a cold day. How to have a good time and get great shots and be warm at the same time. Go inside. We visited some great places like the Grand Central Station, the New York Public Library. I got some more specials for you here in the city that I grew up in. And we're going to take a picture and see the most famous woman in New York City. Just a reminder, it's still really cold. It's 20 degrees, so we're going to go inside one of the great museums of New York, the Natural History Museum, and hopefully get some great shots, and if nothing else, just have a really good time in warm weather. Please enter here.
The museum, which was founded in 1869, is on the Upper West Side of Manhattan on 79th Street, and it's several blocks long. It's best known for the Hayden Planetarium and exhibits on prehistoric times and animals of all stripes. It's been featured in many movies, including most notably A Night at the Museum and The Devil Wears Prada, as well as many others.
This is a hard room to photograph because it's so dark. So get your picture of the elephant, won't be too bad. Taking pictures through the glass, not so great. But a nice shot of people looking over there, I think is a really nice shot. There'll be silhouettes. That will scream museum to you. Elephants can park their strollers here.
Butterfly time.
A situation like this calls for macro photography, which all of our smartphones have. The trick is you just, instead of taking a picture like this, you get really close, little yellow flower goes on, and you get a nice little close-up of this beautiful being that only lasts for 2 to 3 weeks. Let's get an action shot. Fly away.
The museum has over 100 dinosaur exhibits, but the main attraction is right there in the Theodore Roosevelt Rotunda, the giant Barosaurus and a little Allosaurus. The Barosaurus is over 70 feet tall.
And if I had my druthers, I'd want to go upstairs and look down, but I don't see any way to do that.
Now, I tried the shot from every angle. I did close-ups of the face and the bones, but you know, nothing beats this giant dinosaur in the center of the rotunda in a big 0.5 wide-angle shot. And if the people on the sides of the shot bother you, well, there's a fix for that. I will show you how to get rid of them in our photo tip segment coming up next. So from the Upper West Side of Manhattan to our next stops, we're going to take a subway down to one of the great restaurants in New York City and then take a short 40-minute walk to our boat ride to see the Statue of Liberty.
From the Natural History Museum to the oldest deli in New York City, this is one of the oldest restaurants in the world as well. Katz's, that's all. Let's go in, no line. Great place to be warm.
Let me get that, bro. I told you.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
We're happy to be here.
Okay.
At Katz's, you enter, take a ticket, and then get online. There's one line for your sandwiches, another for drinks, and so on. As a photographer, I chose a place on one of the lines for the best spot to be able to get up close and personal with the person known as a cutter, as I wanted to get super tight shots of him slicing the meats. After we eat, then I'll run around the deli capturing slices of life from this unique place, which you may remember from a key scene in the movie When Harry Met Sally. If you don't remember, Katz's will remind you, just like they'll nudge you to send a salami to your boy in the army with all those great hanging salamis everywhere you look.
Let's talk costs. A pastrami sandwich in 2025 will cost you $29. $29 for a pastrami sandwich. Luckily, we're splitting it. And the Reuben is $30. The French fries are $10. Egg cream is a bargain. It's only $7. You're watching Photowalks TV from Katz's Deli in New York. Wow. So can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can I take your picture?
Of me?
Both of you. Both, right there. Just like that. It's perfect. The two of you. Just like that. What do you say? The two of you right there.
Katz's, we took a brisk walk through the Lower East Side en route to Pier 16 and the Circle Line cruise, which was also on the CityPASS. Thank you very much.
Great photos, right? Okay. Oh boy, these windows are dirty.
Yeah, can't really help it with the salt.
You can't do any great pictures. We go upstairs.
And we'll open up the front of the boat at the statue.
Okay, great. So this is what we've learned. Yes, we could take pictures inside and be warm. These windows are dirty. It's going to be really hard to get a great shot. So we'll go outside, we'll get our photo, and then we'll come back inside and be warm. How's that for a good compromise? Brooklyn Bridge, pretty cool view. It's a little cold out here, but I'm glad to get the shot, and now I'm going back inside.
Once I saw the statue out there, of course I went right back out to get the shot. But you know, many people would go out too early for this. You might want to wait.
Right now, the lighting is in the wrong position. We want to be on the other side of the boat with the sun on the other side to be able to see the colors and be able to see it, because right now it's in a shadow. So you see how we're turning and the sun is facing the statue, and now we're seeing some color in her coat, and not in the book, but certainly in the lamp. So way better view. Ooh, look at it, yeah. Okay, how do that?
Beyond Lady Liberty, another perk of this boat ride was getting to see the dynamic view of the New York skyline from the water. New York, New York. It's a hell of a town, you know what I mean?
When we come back from the break, it's photo tip time. It's time for a photo tip segment right here from the Natural History Museum, taking pictures of dinosaurs, okay? You got a lamp behind the dinosaur's head, and you want to move and arrange so that it's not in the shot. Right now, it's pretty good. Right here, it's coming right through his teeth. Right over here, not good at all. And then if I just move right here, like, boom, I have a nice shot of the head without the lamp in it. Simply moving around till you get it right.
Remember that picture from the History Museum where I wiped out the spectators from the Roosevelt Rotunda? Well, that's really easy to do in a software program like Photoshop, which costs $20 monthly to use, or you could do it for free on recent iPhones. Just open the Photos app, click Edit, and choose the cleanup feature. Then tap or brush over the object you want removed, and voila, it's gone. Now, caveat, this is a hit or miss thing, and it could take you a few times to get it right. Smartphones are great as everything is automatic and everything always works, but not always. Sometimes you have to adjust the exposure to get it right, as here at the New York Public Library. I also converted the shot from color to black and white by using a built-in iPhone filter after I shot it. To do this, click Edit in the Photos app and choose the filter icon.
With our smartphone, whether it is a Pixel, a Galaxy, or an iPhone, you've got all sorts of tricks. I always travel with my little selfie stick, which turns into a tripod. Put it right there.
Because with a smartphone, it's just so easy to make a time lapse and watch the world zip by. You will need a small tripod for this and some patience, because you will be recording for at least 15 minutes, if not longer.
So this is a fun one to do, and you're going to stand still. You're going to be in the middle of all these people running around you. So the trick is to go on time-lapse mode, go on ultra wide on your 0.5, and stand farther enough back that you can stand totally still. Lily will tell me when to stop. I'm in. So now I just stand still.
Remember at the History Museum when I talked about macro photography? This lets you bring the camera closer to the subject for ultra close-ups. The macro features available on late model iPhones, Galaxies, and Pixels, and all kind of work the same way. Just get as close as you can to the subject and start snapping. On the iPhone, you'll see a little yellow flower appear to confirm that you are indeed in macro mode. Now, one thing to look out for. If you're outside and shooting, say, a flower, you'll probably get your shadow in the shot on a sunny day. It's a pain in the butt. Tip to avoid this, photograph the flower in the shade.
My photo tip for capturing the essence of New York's oldest deli is to not be shy. Everybody in here has a camera, so they're all doing it. Get pictures of the guys making this pastrami, get close-ups of the pastrami, get the knife going and cutting if you can. Make sure that you get the right spot so that you can lean over the counter and get those photos, because not every one of these cutting stations could you do it. Pick up the neon signs, pick up the people, if you could do it, a big wide shot of the big crowd. There's so much here and so much to have fun with.
One last word before we leave Katz is the pastrami slicing. I told you I got in a prime position so that I'd make sure that I would get up close and personal with the cutter, and I used primarily the 1x wide lens. That's the main lens on your phone. It's the sharpest and it's the most reliable. And if you just get into the right position, the best zoom is the zoom with your feet. So you might be wondering, how exactly did I get this magical shot of the New York skyline with the sun beaming like this? What cool filter did I put on the iPhone? None. Chalk it up to the Good Timing Award. I happened to be on the last boat ride of the day at sunset when the sun glows in the skyscrapers.
And that's a wrap from very cold New York City. I can't wait to go back inside. Meanwhile, for more information on some of the places that we visited on today's episode, as always, check out our website. Be sure to stay tuned for more episodes of Photowalks, and I will see you on the next Photowalk. I'm Jefferson Graham. See ya.